Most tattoos show what you feel. The dagger shows what you're willing to do about it. That's why it never disappears. Not because it's timeless, because it's aggressive in a way most tattoos aren't. The dagger is one of the most familiar images in traditional tattooing. Clean blade, simple handle, often paired with a heart, a rose, a snake. If you ask what it means, the answers come quickly. Betrayal, danger, protection, strength. And on the surface, that feels complete. A sharp object tied to sharp emotions. But that explanation is too neat, because it treats the dagger like every other symbol, something that represents a feeling. And the dagger doesn't behave like that. Most traditional motifs are passive. Hearts sit, roses bloom, snakes coil. Even when they imply danger or beauty, they don't act. The dagger is different. It's almost never just there. It's cutting through something, piercing something, held in tension with something else. The moment a dagger enters the design, the tattoo stops being about what exists and becomes about what's being done. That shift is easy to miss, but it changes everything. Look at a heart on its own. It reads as emotion, attachment, vulnerability. It doesn't threaten anything. Now look at a heart with a dagger through it. The meaning people default to is betrayal or heartbreak. But that's a translation after the fact. Visually, what you're seeing is simpler and more revealing. Something is being stabbed. The image isn't describing a feeling. It's staging an act of violence against it. And that's a pattern. A rose on its own is decorative, romantic, soft. Add a dagger, and suddenly the image becomes unstable. The beauty isn't being admired, it's being interrupted. Not ruined by accident, cut into deliberately. The same thing happens with the snake. A snake already carries tension. It's alert, coiled, dangerous. But when it wraps around a dagger, the image becomes competitive. Two threats occupying the same space. The question isn't, what does the snake mean? It's, which one controls the situation? The dagger doesn't just add symbolism. It reorganizes the entire image around conflict. That's why it became so central to traditional tattooing. Not because of history or sailors or flash sheets. Those matter, but they're not the reason it's stuck. It's stuck because it solves a visual problem. How do you make a simple image feel intense, immediate, and legible? You introduce an action, and the dagger is the cleanest way to do that. Straight lines, clear direction, instant readability. It doesn't just sit on the skin, it points, divides, penetrates. It gives the tattoo momentum. But the more interesting question isn't why artists use it. It's why people choose it, because choosing a dagger isn't neutral. A heart tattoo can be read 100 different ways. So can a rose. They're open-ended, soft enough to absorb projection. The dagger removes that ambiguity. The second it appears, the wearer is no longer just showing emotion. They're aligning themselves with action, not necessarily literal violence, but control over it. There's a difference between someone who has experienced pain and someone who wants to be seen as capable of delivering it, surviving it, or directing it. The dagger lives in that difference. It signals a kind of readiness. Not readiness in a practical sense. No one believes the tattoo is a weapon. But readiness as identity. I'm not just affected by things. I act on them. That's the appeal. Especially in a culture where most tattoos have become softer, safer, more aesthetic. Fine-line florals, micro-realism, abstract shapes. They lean toward decoration or introspection. The dagger moves in the opposite direction. It's blunt, assertive, hard to neutralize. Even when it's beautifully drawn, it carries a kind of hostility. And that hostility is controlled. That's important. Because the dagger isn't chaotic like a flame or a storm. It's precise. It suggests not just aggression, but directed aggression. That's a very specific identity to wear. This is why the dagger hasn't faded, even as tattoo trends cycle. It doesn't rely on style. It relies on behavior. Every time you see one, the question isn't, what does that mean? It's, what is being cut? What is being controlled? And why does this person want that on their body permanently? Because in a medium where people insist their tattoos are deeply personal, the dagger is one of the few designs that quietly exposes something real. Not what someone feels, but how they want to be seen responding to it.